thank you to everybody that did those videos for me. It's super humbling. Try to get through the, you're not supposed to cry before the speech, right? It's like, I haven't gone through any of these without being emotional, but I'm going to give it my shot. I'm truly grateful and honored to win this award. I first want to thank Club Car for sponsoring this amazing evening. Thank the section staff. Cammie, you are amazing. You're an absolute rock star for putting all this together and for dealing with me through this whole process. Just top shelf. Thank you to Jeff Abbott for your friendship for so many years. I miss seeing you on the lesson tee. I used to give Jeff lessons when he'd come to Charlotte. But and your leadership of the section is amazing. Thank you to Ben Weeks for being by my side and guiding me through my role as the chairman of the teaching and coaching committee. I couldn't do it without you. We put out a few fires this week, haven't we? So it's all going to be awesome. Hope everybody's coming to the teaching summit. I want to thank my boss, Eric Schultz, for his leadership and more importantly, his friendship. And congrats on your award, well deserved. Thank you to the entire staff at Colleton River and our membership, which is amazing. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you to my sponsors, Titleist, Acushnet, best in the business, and my clothing brand, Live Forever Golf, for your support and making me look good on the lesson tee. Scott Riley and Matt Every, awesome guys that take good care of me. I've been very fortunate to stand on the stage a few times over the years. We don't do this for the awards. So when I got the call from Josh, one, I was surprised, like I said in the video, but ultimately filled with gratitude to be recognized by my peers for such an honor. That evening, driving home from work, I'm not afraid to say that I started crying. Very emotional guy, but it just overwhelmed me. Just made me think about, how did we get here? So at that moment, I really started thinking about this speech, and it forced me to reflect on my career and what I've done to get through and to get to today. As my son said yesterday, get through the speech, you get to do it. So, if you allow me, because I get a little bit more time than everybody else, this is the last time we're going to do this, I want to tell you 3 stories that come to mind that were turning points in my career. First story is about love. It's about a young redneck from West Virginia that found himself standing behind the counter at Sleepy Hollow Golf Club, and I was an assistant professional. And he had a tough time speaking. He had a tough time speaking to members, saying hello. He was very backwards. And it almost cost me my job. Thank you to Kevin Hill that he's here tonight for not firing me when he probably should have. But he encouraged me. So first thing I went and did is I went and bought a book. It's my first professional development book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. My first learning moment at an early age that you have to take an interest in people. God tends to put us in the right place at the right time and bring the right people into our lives. He sent a beautiful young woman into my golf shop one day to buy a couple of sweaters, cashmere sweaters, by the way, because her parents had told her that you need to go down to the golf shop and meet this young golf professional named Jason, which I'm sure breaks all kinds of ethical rules, dating and hitting on the member's daughter. So somehow I managed to impress her, and she asked me out to a Marshall football tailgate. She still doesn't believe that we ran into each other on purpose, but it was fate. We started dating, and we fell in love. I then gave the presentation of my life when I asked her to marry me. She thankfully said yes, and she hadn't been able to get rid of me since. That young lady is my wife, Tiffany. It'll be 30 years in June. She deserves an award. Golf professional leadership. It's not easy being married to a teacher pro. You're my everything, you're my support. As Nick said, this thing doesn't work without you, for our whole family. She gave me 2 incredible kids that are here tonight. My daughter Brittany, who is a successful therapist. My son Nicholas, who just turned pro, is chasing the tour. And his girlfriend Ari Clemmers here tonight, who is a part of our family. I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I love you so much. Alright, we're going to pull it together now. Alright, the second story is about failure. We all know how some of our greatest failures can set us up for later success. So I moved to the Carolinas in 1997, and I took a job as Mr. Kelly's at the Northstone Club. He's my first boss, first GM. So I was on track to be what I thought I was supposed to do, which is be a head professional. After the first year, our head pro left. I was quickly promoted to my first head pro job, which I was clearly not ready for. At 28, clueless. So after my first year, our head pro left, and I was promoted. So I was going to say thank you to Tom Kelly for seeing something in me at an early age, and I didn't see it myself. Then he left me after the first year. After 2 years filled with 2 more general manager changes, lots of challenges and learning moments, I was given my severance package and I was told that I would be replaced. Of course, I was devastated because I knew I had failed. But looking back at it, it was the single greatest gift of my career, because it forced me to take inventory of what I was truly passionate about, and ultimately what made me happy. And that was teaching and coaching. Nothing against the head professionals and director of golfs out there. You guys do amazing work. It just wasn't for me. The third story is about finding my passion, personal growth, and how it changed my life forever. After deciding that I wanted to teach full time, I sought out the best teacher in Charlotte. And it led me to my first teaching mentor, Miss Dana Rader. May God rest her soul. I know she's in heaven right now looking down. And I hope she's proud. She gave me a chance to follow my passion. She created an environment for creativity and growth. She saw something in me and gave me the opportunity, and my entire world changed, because all I had to do was focus on how to get better as a coach. I took a $15,000 pay cut, which seemed like a lot of money at the time, but I didn't care, because for the first time in my life, I knew exactly what direction I was moving, and knew that the money would come if I built my skills and strived to be the best version of myself. As Jim Rohn always said, do more than what you're paid to make an investment in your future. And I live by that. Dana was the first person to ask me, what are your goals? What do you want to do with your career? I'll never forget it. I remember this day, to this day. I said, I want to be a top 100 instructor, and I want to be respected by my peers. And she gave me the blueprint and showed me the way. She taught me so much in those 11 years, not only how to be a top instructor, but the art of good communication. She didn't teach me how to not cry, though, for some reason. And how to present, which was invaluable. She was an absolute rock star presenter. And I was horrible, as we all were at the beginning. But also how to improve as a human being. But more importantly, she showed me what a mentor was. I knew I was in the right place because I was on fire about learning and growing as fast as I could as a coach and as a person. As I started to build my skills, my reputation, and my brand, I felt my ego getting in the way. As I was constantly complaining about not getting recognition, winning awards, blaming others, as we often do as young professionals, I had to make a change. The turning point happened for me a few years into my work with Dana, as my thirst for knowledge increased. So I started seeking information in places other than the hundreds of books that I was reading about the golf swing. I started to study business, marketing, personal development, and more importantly, I studied people, which changed my life. I found a few mentors from afar, like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and Tony Robbins, where I started listening to programs reading books about personal development, how to adopt a growth mindset. Zig calls it going to Automobile University. I listened to at least an hour of programs or lectures about a variety of topics other than golf for many years. And I still do it to this day, now it's in the form of podcasts and audiobooks. As Jim Rohn always says, for things to change around you, you must change. Changing my mindset and my philosophy on life made me want to be a servant leader and to start focusing on how I can help others around me. We don't choose to invest in others to get something back, but because of what we become as a person. It's a two-way street. My whole world changed, and Dana and the people around me noticed it. As my skills improved and reputation grew, it led me to my next opportunity to becoming the director of instruction at Carmel Country Club and working for the legend Jeff Nichols, who's won this award a few years ago. So I started to put my imprint on the teaching business, building my own programs, winning Teacher of the Year, and making the Golf Magazine Top 100 list. But also getting the greatest honor, which was becoming a leader and a mentor to other young professionals, as now I had my own staff. Great young teachers like Alex Vanderlinden, Maggie Simons, Robbie Fales, Seth Mers, and many others in this room that I've worked with, worked for me at Carmel, and have gone on to do great things. I've been very fortunate to help 11 young teaching pros move on to director of instruction jobs over the years and counsel many other young professionals that have reached out for guidance. In 2018, I launched the Golf Guru Show podcast, which has allowed me to expand my reach to instructors all over the world by sharing my story, sharing teaching information, through interviewing some of the best instructors in the game, and building relationships that have pushed me to get better every day. It's allowed me to learn from legends like Butch Harmon, Jim McLean, Chuck Cook, John Tattersall, and many, many others. I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, as I've had so much help along the way from mentors and friends like the ones you saw in the videos, and I wouldn't be here without their guidance and friendship. There are too many to thank, and many of you are in this room, like Sean Kennedy and Kevin Britt. I love you guys. So in closing, my main goal for the last 30 years has been to leave a legacy that my family can be proud of, to inspire others, and to leave the industry better than I found it. So I hope that I'm on track to do that. I want to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Zig Ziglar. Zig says, "You can have everything in life you want if you would just help enough other people get what they want." This award means everything to me. Thank you so much. Have a great night.